Lucky's journey is more than just a story about an abandoned puppy finding hope. It's a testament to resilience, compassion, and the transformative power of love. From trembling in fear under a broken bench to bounding through life with confidence and joy, Lucky's transformation shows us the incredible potential of second chances. This story serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can create ripples of change. A moment of compassion, a passerby, stopping to help, a rescuer offering warmth and safety, can be the difference between despair and a new beginning. Lucky's story encourages us to see the world through a lens of empathy, inspiring us to recognize the power we each hold to make a positive impact on the lives of others. Every animal deserves a chance to experience love, safety, and happiness. Lucky's journey isn't just his alone. It's a reflection of the many animals out there waiting for their own chance to heal, trust, and thrive. If this story has touched your heart, consider supporting your local animal rescue organizations. Whether it's through donations, volunteering, or adopting an animal in need, your efforts can help transform lives just like Lucky's. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Share your stories of hope and rescue in the comments below, and let's celebrate the power of compassion together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more inspiring tales that remind us of the beauty and connection and kindness. Together we can continue to create a world where every life is given the love and care it deserves. Thank you for watching, and remember, every act of kindness counts. The small cat sat hunched on the doorstep, its tiny frame shivering in the cool evening air. Its fur, once perhaps soft and vibrant, was now a patchy mess, with clumps of dirt and grime matted across its body. Bald spots revealed scars beneath, telling silent tales of hardship and survival. One ear was tattered as though from an old injury, and its tail hung low, almost lifeless. Its golden eyes, though dulled by exhaustion, were wide and alert, darting from side to side in a constant state of wariness. The elderly woman crouched down slowly, careful not to make any sudden movements. She extended a hand, palm up, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's okay, little one. I won't hurt you." The cat flinched at the gesture, backing up slightly. Its thin, frail legs wobbled as it tried to maintain balance, a clear sign of malnutrition. Still, it didn't run. Instead, it stayed frozen, as though weighing the risk of fleeing against the hope of safety. The woman paused, her hand hovering in the air. "You've been through so much, haven't you?" she murmured, her heart breaking at the sight. Reaching into her pocket, she pulled out a small piece of bread she'd saved from her dinner. It wasn't much, but she hoped it might coax the cat closer. She placed the bread a short distance from the cat and stepped back, giving it space. The cat hesitated, its nose twitching as it caught the scent. With slow, hesitant movements, it crept toward the bread, keeping its eyes fixed on the woman. It nibbled cautiously, its frail body quivering with each bite. The woman stood at her doorway, watching the cat finish the small piece of bread. Her mind raced with conflicting thoughts. She wanted to help. She couldn't bear the idea of leaving the poor creature out in the cold night, vulnerable and alone. But taking it in would mean added responsibility, and her own life was already filled with its share of limitations. She lived alone on a fixed income, her days structured around routines that allowed her to manage her energy. Her small house was tidy but modest, and she wasn't sure if she could afford the care this cat would undoubtedly need. Vet bills, food, and time, these were all considerations that weighed heavily on her mind. Yet, every time she looked at the cat, the decision seemed to make itself. It wasn't just the cat's physical condition that moved her. It was the way its eyes softened when it realized she meant no harm, the faintest flicker of trust that seemed to surface despite its fear. The woman sighed deeply, pulling her cardigan tighter around her shoulders as the chill of the night air deepened. "You're just a little thing," she said softly, as if the cat could understand her words. "How could I possibly leave you out here?" She turned and stepped inside, her heart heavy with indecision. But after a moment she reappeared with a small towel in her hands. She knelt down and spread the towel on the ground, hoping to offer the cat some warmth. "I don't have much, but I can give you a place to rest," she said, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. The cat, still wary, didn't move at first. It sat there, staring at her, its body a tense mixture of fear and longing. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, it inched toward the towel. The woman held her breath as the cat cautiously stepped onto the fabric, curling into a tight ball. Her decision was made. She couldn't abandon this fragile creature, not when it had so clearly chosen her as its safe place. Slowly, she scooped the towel up with the cat nestled inside. The cat tensed but didn't resist, its tiny body too weak to fight. She cradled it gently, speaking soothingly as she carried it inside. That night, as she set the cat down on a soft cushion near the heater, the woman realized how much this little visitor had already changed her life. She didn't know what challenges lay ahead, but she knew she couldn't turn her back now. Compassion and purpose filled her heart as she whispered, "You're safe now, little one. We'll figure this out together." As the cat drifted off into an uneasy sleep, the woman sat nearby, watching over it with quiet determination. It was the beginning of a journey neither of them could have expected, one that would test their resilience, transform their lives, and leave an indelible mark on both their hearts. The cat's first night in the elderly woman's home was spent curled on a makeshift bed, a soft cushion wrapped in an old clean towel, near the heater. The woman sat nearby, speaking softly to the fragile creature, her voice gentle and reassuring. Despite her efforts, the cat remained tense, its body coiled tightly as it kept one wary eye on her. The next morning, she prepared a small plate of food, a bit of boiled chicken and a shallow bowl of water. She placed them carefully beside the cat's resting spot and stepped back, watching from a distance. The cat sniffed the air, its nose twitching as the scent of the food reached it, but it didn't move. Hours passed, and the plate remained, untouched. The woman knew she had to be patient. She spent her day quietly moving around the house, avoiding sudden noises or movements that might scare her guest. In the evenings, she'd sit in the same room, reading or knitting, making her presence known without forcing interaction. Every so often, she'd glance toward the cat, offering a soft smile and a kind word. Despite her efforts, the cat's fear lingered. When she approached, it would shrink into itself, its eyes wide with mistrust. If she reached out, it would retreat, further into its corner. The woman's heart ached, but she refused to give up. "You've been through so much," she whispered one evening, her voice tinged with sadness. "But you're safe here. I promise." After 3 days, a small victory came. The woman woke early one morning to find the food she'd left had been eaten, and the water bowl was half empty. Her heart swelled with hope as she realized the cat was beginning to trust her, if only in the smallest way. Encouraged, she continued her routine of offering food and speaking softly to the cat. That afternoon, as she sat on the couch reading, the cat inched closer to its bowl while she was still in the room. The woman held her breath, careful not to make a sound. The cat's movements were slow and deliberate, its body low to the ground, but it ate while she sat nearby, a monumental step forward. The real breakthrough came a week later. The woman had been sitting on the floor, knitting quietly, when the cat took a tentative step toward her. Its movements were hesitant, its body still tense, but it was the first time it had willingly approached her. She stayed perfectly still, her eyes soft with encouragement. When the cat sniffed her outstretched hand, her heart fluttered with joy. Over the following days, the cat's progress grew more noticeable. It began eating in her presence without hesitation, and its posture relaxed as it moved around the room. One evening, the woman reached out and gently stroked its back for the first time. The cat froze momentarily but didn't retreat. She continued with soft, soothing motions, her fingers brushing against its matted fur. There, she murmured. "You're doing so well." The emotional impact of these moments was profound. The woman often found herself smiling more, her days brightened by the small victories she shared with the cat. Each breakthrough felt like a triumph, a testament to the trust they were slowly building. For the woman, It was more than just helping a stray. It was a reminder of the power of patience, kindness, and connection. One evening, as she sat watching television, the cat jumped onto the couch beside her for the first time. It didn't come close enough to touch her, but its presence was enough to bring tears to her eyes. She turned to it with a smile, speaking softly. "You're so brave," she said. "I knew you had it in you." As the days turned into weeks, the cat began seeking her out more frequently. It would follow her to the kitchen, watching intently as she prepared its meals. It even began to meow softly, its voice timid, but growing more confident with time. The woman responded to every sound with warmth, cherishing the newfound communication between them. Perhaps the most touching moment came when the cat, now more relaxed and curious, allowed her to groom it gently. She used a soft brush, working carefully through its matted fur. At first the cat seemed unsure, but as she continued, it began to purr, a low, steady sound that filled the room with warmth. The woman's hands trembled slightly as she worked, her heart full. "That's it," she whispered. "You're starting to trust me." The bond between them was undeniable. Each small step forward brought them closer together, creating a connection that transcended words. The woman, once hesitant about taking the cat in, now couldn't imagine her days without its quiet presence. And the cat, once a fragile and fearful creature, was beginning to find safety, comfort, and a sense of belonging. Their journey wasn't over, but they had come so far already. Together, they were building something beautiful, a bond born of patience, trust, and unwavering kindness. Progress had been steady, and the cat was beginning to trust the elderly woman, showing glimpses of confidence that seemed unimaginable just weeks before. But as with any healing journey, progress is rarely linear. One quiet afternoon, the fragile peace they had built was suddenly shattered. The woman had been tidying her living room, humming softly as the cat lounged on its cushion by the window. A new favorite spot. The calm was disrupted by the sound of a heavy book slipping from the woman's hands and crashing to the floor. The loud thud echoed through the room, startling the cat. Its body tensed immediately, its ears flattening against its head. Before the woman could reassure it, the cat bolted, dashing under the couch and curling into the smallest ball it could manage. Its wide eyes stared out from the shadows, filled with the same fear and mistrust that had defined its first days in the house. The woman's heart sank. She crouched near the couch, speaking softly, her voice steady and gentle. "It's okay, sweetheart, it was just a noise, you're safe." But the cat didn't move. Its small body trembled and it kept its distance, retreating further into the corner. For the next few hours, the woman left the cat alone, giving it the space it needed while keeping a close watch. It was as if the bond they had carefully built had vanished in an instant, undone by a single moment of fright. Her chest ached with guilt as she replayed the incident in her mind, wishing she could undo it. That night, the cat didn't return to its usual spot on the couch or by the woman's side. Instead, it stayed hidden, peering cautiously from under the furniture. The woman left out fresh food and water and sat quietly in her chair, hoping her calm presence would soothe the cat's nerves. The next morning, the woman was relieved to find the food she'd left out had been eaten. It was a small sign that the cat hadn't retreated completely into fear. Encouraged, she resumed her routine of offering soft words and gentle gestures, moving slowly to avoid startling the cat further. It took days, but the cat began to show signs of recovery. At first, it would peek out from under the couch, its eyes scanning the room cautiously. The woman made no effort to approach, instead sitting in her usual spot and speaking softly. "Take your time," she'd say, her voice filled with encouragement. "I'll be here when you're ready." Eventually, the cat ventured out, its movements hesitant and deliberate. It crept toward its cushion by the window, pausing every few steps to ensure the woman wasn't a threat. When it finally curled up on the cushion again, the woman felt tears prick her eyes. It was a small victory, but it represented the cat's resilience and its willingness to try again. The setback, though painful, became a turning point for both the woman and the cat. It taught the woman the importance of patience and reinforced her commitment to providing a safe, loving environment. She became even more attuned to the cat's needs, moving more carefully around the house and being mindful of potential triggers. For the cat, the incident seemed to reaffirm that fear didn't have to dictate its life. Each time it approached, the woman after the setback, its steps were a little more confident, its tail raised slightly higher. One evening, as the woman sat knitting in her chair, the cat surprised her by jumping onto the armrest. It sat there for a moment, its body still but relaxed, before gently nuzzling its head against her hand. The woman smiled, her heart swelling with emotion. She set aside her knitting and focused entirely on the cat, stroking its fur gently. "You're such a brave little one," she said, her voice filled with pride. Their bond grew stronger in the wake of the setback. The woman's patience and dedication didn't go unnoticed by the cat, who began to seek her out more often, as if realizing that this human could be trusted even when the world felt uncertain. The setback, rather than undoing their progress, became a testament to the strength of their connection. By the end of the week, the cat was back to its playful self, chasing a ball across the living room floor and curling up beside the woman in the evenings. The fear that had resurfaced was now a distant memory, replaced by a sense of safety and trust that felt even more profound. Setbacks may have been part of their journey, but they only made their bond stronger. Together, they had learned to navigate fear and uncertainty, proving that trust and love, though fragile, can withstand even the toughest challenges. Amid the stillness of an ordinary day, disaster strikes. A raging wildfire engulfs sprawling forests, leaving ash and devastation in its wake. Elsewhere, floodwaters surge through quiet towns, sweeping away homes and lives. Or perhaps it's the unrelenting tremors of an earthquake that leave the earth fractured and communities shattered. Amid this chaos, countless animals are left behind, trapped, terrified, and helpless. In the heart of the turmoil, a group of heroes emerges. They are the rescue teams, individuals driven not by obligation, but by a deep sense of compassion and duty. These brave souls push through danger, often risking their own lives to save those that cannot save themselves. From scaling crumbling structures to wading through treacherous waters, their acts of courage shine brightly. Even in the darkest of moments, every rescue tells a story. It's the trembling dog carried from the rising floodwaters, the wild horse, galloping to freedom after days of entrapment, or the tiny bird gently cradled in a rescuer's hands. These moments are more than just acts of survival. They are a testament to humanity's boundless empathy and resilience. As we dive into this incredible journey, prepare to be moved by stories that redefine bravery and inspire hope. Witness the selflessness of the rescue teams as they overcome impossible odds to save the voiceless victims of nature's fury. Stay tuned, because this is more than just a tale of survival. It's a powerful reminder of the courage and compassion that connects us all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of hope and heroism. Together, let's celebrate the spirit of those who go above and beyond to make the world a better place. The scene is nothing short of apocalyptic. Towering flames lick at the skies as a wildfire rages uncontrollably, its fiery tendrils consuming everything in their path. The acrid smell of smoke hangs heavy in the air, blotting out the once clear skies. Trees that stood tall for decades now crumble to ash, while animals scatter in every direction, desperately searching for safety. The roar of the inferno drowns out all other sounds, a symphony of destruction. In another part of the world, the wrath of nature takes on a different form. Torrential rains unleash a flood of biblical proportions, turning tranquil rivers into raging torrents. Streets once bustling with life are now submerged under murky waters. Cars float aimlessly, and homes are swallowed whole as the current sweeps away everything in its path. In the midst of this chaos, animals cling to rooftops, huddle on tiny patches of dry ground, or drift helplessly on debris. And then, there's the unrelenting power of an earthquake. The earth shudders violently, splitting open roads and reducing buildings to rubble. Dust clouds rise like ghostly specters, obscuring the devastation below. Animals trapped beneath fallen structures cry out in fear, their plaintive calls barely audible above the grinding sound of shifting earth. In every corner, the devastation is profound, the toll on life, human and animal alike, immeasurable. Amid the chaos, a glimmer of hope emerges. The rescue team arrives, a group of men and women armed with courage, expertise, and an unshakable determination to save lives. Clad in heavy protective gear and equipped with ropes, boats, and tools, they are a beacon of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. Their work begins almost immediately. In the wildfire, they push through thick smoke and searing heat, scanning the blackened terrain for any sign of life. The sound of a faint whimper catches their attention. A firefighter kneels down and pulls aside a pile of scorched debris, revealing a trembling puppy. Its fur is singed, its eyes wide with fear, but its tail wags weakly as it senses safety. The firefighter cradles the fragile creature, whispering words of reassurance before carrying it to safety. In the flood zone, the team maneuvers small boats through the submerged streets, carefully avoiding submerged debris. They spot movement on a partially submerged rooftop, a frightened cat perched precariously on the edge, its fur soaked and matted. With steady hands, a rescuer inches closer, coaxing the cat into their arms. The cat claws at them in panic, but quickly relaxes when it senses the warmth of its savior. In the earthquake's aftermath, the team sifts through piles of concrete and twisted metal. The whimpering cries of a dog trapped under rubble guide their efforts. With calculated precision, they lift the heavy slabs, revealing the dusty, battered form of a golden retriever. Its wagging tail and grateful licks bring a brief moment of joy amid the devastation. Each rescue is a testament to their skill and unwavering compassion. The stakes are always high, and every action carries immense emotional weight. A life saved, no matter how small, represents a victory against overwhelming odds. The rescue team's dedication goes beyond duty. It's a calling. They work tirelessly, often ignoring their own safety to ensure no life is left behind. With each animal they save, their resolve strengthens, knowing that their efforts bring a spark of hope to a world overshadowed by destruction. These first acts of heroism set the stage for what's to come, a series of rescues that will test their limits, showcase their humanity, and remind us all of the power of compassion in the face of unimaginable adversity.